And we should be live. Welcome, everyone. Uh, what's going on? Twitter, Facebook, Sifted, all the social media peeps out there, YouTube, we're streaming live. This is the Beerumverate. It is I, the Burkoff, and I am joined by Keith, uh,
Hey
Miss
everybody, how's it going?
Mystery, Mystery Wondrous McWombles.
I
Good.
prefer,
That's good enough. That's good enough.
I sometimes go by the name General Sir Handsome McCawson.
I like that. This is the first time I've heard this too. I'm gonna have
I
to.
worked on a project a few
And we
years
can
ago
tell
that
like
gave
you're
out.
you're really humble because you have your camera high enough that we can't see like how many star what star general you are. It's like I'm not. This is not what this is about. I'm not gonna show that off during this
As
stream.
well because because it's the I'm in the UK, we don't just give out medals for saying "Sir, yes, sir" very loudly. Um,
Fair enough.
um,
Or
is it
or
one?
just being on a team like
Yeah,
an NFL team for a year.
yeah, medal.
Or a
Um,
captain for
I worked on a project a few years ago that was to do with ID passes,
Okay.
and I asked the person who from the company we got in to do the printing for us if I could have a special one with General Sir Handsome McCawson on it.
Hmm.
Never received it.
Oh,
Oh no.
that's a fail. That sucks.
Yeah, we didn't renew their contract. It wasn't because of that though.
All right.
It was too much.
I'm also joined by the stand user who's grabbing a
My
cap.
my fluffy hair is bothering me because it's shining off the light. So I'm going to remedy it with a cool hat, a backwards hat. Is that cool?
Yeah,
Of course.
we need to also talk about the yes, at
I
least
want to know
three.
what you did.
What was that?
I want to know what happened to the cassette deck.
Oh my God, I
Yeah.
forgot about that shit.
That like I think that's really funny too because the whole idea of a teddy bear is that it's supposed to be huggable. You hug that thing, and there's just like giant like plain black box inside. It's just got like edges and corners on it. It's not very. I know the whole thing was like he's supposed to sit there and like tell you stories, but
Right.
not exactly the best huggable teddy bear.
No.
I think this is the most organized intro that we've ever done.
Can only go up from here. That's for sure.
Indeed.
Right, should we do the disclaimer and then get on with this? If I can remember what it is. Right, we are the Beerumverate. We promote responsible drinking only, except for Matt, who for some strange reason before Christmas decided to drink a 40, whatever one of those is.
And decided to pregame it before this show too.
Yeah. And any beers or breweries we talk about, we're not getting paid by, unless they really want us to talk about stuff, and we're happy to take their money. And we're just three guys who like video games, and we talk about them. That was good, wasn't it? I've been practicing.
It has been a while though, to be honest. I mean, it's been what was the last episode that we did? It was like before Christmas.
Yeah, pre-Christmas.
So we've all been on a holiday lull and just now getting back into it.
Oh yeah.
Right, and since we started an hour late because of Evan's IT issues, let's crack on with this. Let's rock this. I can just smell the enthusiasm coming off both of you.
You know what I need? I need to figure out how to do the like audio things. So I can queue up. We wanna rock, dun, 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 and then we can get into it. Cause me mouthing it right now is just not. It's not as good as the real audio clip.
No. Right. Do we want to do a quick round on beers?
Sure.
Sure. I discovered a new one before Christmas, which I can't show you because I'm not drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think this is all my fault.
Right.
Well, you are stuck in the middle. You actually are stuck in the middle.
And see if I had the audio cues, I could queue up "Stuck in the Middle with You."
Yeah, how many seconds does it have to be before we've got to start paying rights?
I think it's only
Yeah, what
it's
is
only
it?
like 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found a new beer which is really nice. It's Piston Head Flat Tire.
Hmm.
What
Which
what style of beer is that?
it's a dry hopped lager.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
normally it's not a big one for me. I had something Friday night, which was an American style IPA, which was getting back to that thing that we've spoken about before. It's like drinking potpourri. Um,
Right.
but this dry hop lager is clean enough tasting, but with enough hops that it's still kind of got floral notes. Oh God, this sounds so pompous, doesn't it? And that was the first
Love it.
swear jar. Um, uh, but it's hoppy enough that it's not.
That's around 12 ounces.
I don't know your imperial measurements. I grew up in a
I'm actually going to convert it right now. We'll see what it.
metric system. We'll be
Yeah.
going back to imperial measurements after Brexit, I'm assuming, and we'll reinstate the 100 Years' War with France. And centipedes will be renamed inchipedes. All of these kinds of things.
I like
All
it.
of these things we can
I'm
expect.
all about this as a registered card carrying libertarian. I approve.
And I want to know what
Um,
kind of is Evan talking to a ghost or himself?
there's someone here helping me get a few things in order. Best, I'm gonna be as vague as possible.
We are.
Let's just say there's a lot. I have several documents that I need to be reviewed and that are all in Japanese,
Okay.
and then I need to sign and ship out. So I have someone here helping me through that stuff.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, legal documents in Japanese or English. Hey, you would know it. You know about this, Matt.
Yeah.
The the verbiage and the language is very confusing whether or not you can speak the language or not. So add on top of that it's in Japanese, and yeah, I have a friend helping me out with several things. It is coming towards tax time, so there's also that. So
there's
yeah.
a quote in a book that I really like. It was one of the Richard Sharp novels, which I don't know if you guys would have read any of those. But there was a disgraced admiral who did actually exist. He's not a fictional character, but I don't know if the quote was made up. But he was kicked out of the House of Lords for corruption, which he denied. And the quote that he has: "Lawyers are as ubiquitous and useful to human society as rats on a ship."
I'd say they're a little more useful than that, but it's not a bad
Yeah.
quote, that's for sure.
All right. Matt, have you introduced? Oh, I'm sorry, Keith. Did you finish
Oh yeah,
your introduction to the beer?
yeah.
Matt, how about you? What do you got?
So as soon as I'm done finishing my daily drinker, which is PBR, I have Unita or Unita or Unita. Where the area is known for its very large Mormon population. Surprisingly, there's a lot of good beers that have come out of Salt Lake. This company in particular, like the name is not particularly memorable. The stuff they name their beers is not particularly memorable. The labels suck. The labels are pretty boring. But the
Trashing them.
well,
Can't say enough good things about it.
the best thing about their beer, it should be a pretty decent coffee stout tonight.
Good. Very nice.
That
So
sounds disgusting.
we know that you have very slim, you got a very particular taste when it comes to beer.
Well, I normally, I've said this to people, I normally drink whatever's put in front of me, but if someone put that in front of me, I'd ask them to drink it themselves, and I'll go and buy something I want to drink.
Okay.
Oh, not a fan of coffee stouts, huh?
Well, you know my opinion on coffee.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's true. So if they had a tea stout, would you drink that?
No.
I think that'd be amazing if a company could come out with a tea stout. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, because it would be me.
Yeah.
Right, Evan, go.
All right, I'm finishing up my Kirin Ichiban Shibori, which is kind of a mainstay of Kirin. The good thing is, like, aside from all the beers that the big four brew, this one is not brewed with cornstarch or rice. It's just
Interesting.
straight barley and hops. So way more full flavored than some of the other beers that are at the comparable price range. So I tend to drink this. But I got a special beer from Suntory, which was made famous and lost in translation, I'm sure. I know they're famous for their whiskey, but they also brew beer. There's actually a brewery in Kyoto, which I've never been to, even though I've lived here for 7 years. Premium Malts. Now, the Premium Malts is like their... it's such a silly name. The Premium Malts is kind of their big mainstay beer. But this is a special one called Deep Aroma.
Interesting.
And in Japanese, it says Kogoro Nagamu Jukusei Kaori, which is relaxing,
Sounds like an aftershave.
matured, relaxing, matured aroma, which I guess you could translate to deep aroma if you wanted to. So I'm going to. This is a Bohemian Pils, is like.
Well, you can only wear it
Like
you can only
toasty,
drink
like
it if
bready
you've
malt,
got- okay.
malts.
So you can only wear it if you've got a beard and winkle picker shoes and
Teddy Ruxpin. if you've killed no less than 3 Teddy Ruxpins with your bare fucking hands, that's when you can get into the deep aroma. That's what I'm telling you about. So
For a nice,
I'm going to take
relaxing time.
I'm going to take a pilsner and I'm going to pour it into a nonic pint, which is usually served for like red ales and IPAs.
Dude, I love those style of glasses though.
Oh yeah,
just a
no,
half pint glass to me.
no
Well-
shaker pint, no shaker pints here.
So I actually got
This is a small one. It's almost like a taster, if you will.
yeah, that is kind of small. I actually got a set of like regular size ones for wedding gift. A buddy of mine got
That's
me.
good.
Yeah.
Well, it's really. I thought it was going to be darker. Usually they tend to be a lot darker than that, but I guess this is your kind of your golden pilsner color. Lots of carbonation. Cinnamon ahead.
Evan's taking this a bit too seriously today.
You know what? I would love to do this for every episode if we just had like one beer that we each like did the smell, did the taste, talked about all the different flavors.
Well, that would be great, except I'm not drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I know. Yeah, it sucks. So maybe we should get into video games for the time being.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean
right,
this is
before-
okay. I wouldn't say it has very deep aroma.
Before we move on, because there's Evan, saying about a beer made by a whiskey company. Before Christmas, I just picked up some random different beers that I'd never seen before, and one of them I picked up was called, I think it's just it was just a question mark on the bottle, so I thought that sounds interesting, and read the label, and it was actually a beer from a champagne estate.
Interesting.
And I think they should just stick to making champagne because it tasted of absolutely nothing.
That's totally fair, yeah.
So yeah, stick to what you know, peeps. Right. The other one that I had that was quite interesting was one that's actually quite ecologically sound. So there's a beer called Toast, and instead of using new yeast to ferment the beer, they used bread that people were going to throw away. And
Interesting.
that was actually really good.
That's weird. How
It's not at all.
how does it taste?
It tastes like beer.
That's okay.
It is really good.
Do they
Um,
actually do they throw the bread into
yeah,
the mash?
yeah.
Weird. Oh,
And it stops kind of thousands of tons of sliced white and wholemeal and whatever else just going to landfill.
they must filter it afterwards though. If they're just
Yeah,
dropping in like random pieces of bread.
yeah. It made me think because I totally forgot about it. I saw it on the news. It was on the London news few months ago, and then I saw it in supermarket, and I thought I'd give it a go, and then I totally forgot it was that. And then when I drank it, I thought this is really good, and then I read the label and remembered that I'd seen it on the news.
Nice.
So well
One
done
of
for
those
them
subliminal
for
things,
making,
right?
yeah,
Hmm.
well done for them to making good lager and being ecologically minded at the same time.
Yeah, it sounds very sustainable.
Yeah,
That's the buzzword of the day.
yeah,
All right, so do we want to get into the main video game topic?
yeah. Shall I
Yep.
do a little prelude?
Yeah, absolutely. Go
Right,
for it.
cool. So when I was thinking about the topic for this, there was lots of podcasts and other shows putting up their predictions for 2019, and I didn't want to do something that's just us picking our most anticipated games or anything like that. So I thought I'd come up with something slightly different, which is taking a bit of an industry spin on it rather than just focusing on the games. So the premise is, and I did actually have to clear my throat, that wasn't just me kind of leading into it.
It does give a dramatic pause, though. I love it.
Right, so the premise is all three of us have drunk some magic beer, and it allows us to see this year in the future, so this time in 2020. And unfortunately, it hasn't given us the results to the Super Bowl or any other major sporting events like the Grand National, where we can become filthy rich. It has only allowed us to see major video game headline newspapers. Newspapers, what the hell, no one reads those things. Articles online, because that's where we absorb our news. Um, so we're just going to go through some of the major gaming news from 2019 so that we can let everyone have that news in advance of it coming out because we're that kind of people. Kind, sharing.
Indeed.
Evan looks thoroughly bored.
No, I'm thinking because I didn't prepare for this episode. So you guys.
All right, I'm gonna let you go forward, Keith,
Right.
because I have a surprise for everybody watching tonight,
Lovely.
including you guys, because I haven't let you know what I'm gonna do.
You've got a special vest.
Good. You got to carry
It's
this episode, man.
it's very similar to a special vest.
Okay. Right. So the first headline from January 2020 was EA worst to not quite first. So everyone knows that EA has had problems in the past with its public perception, and
Yes.
it was voted, I think, twice voted the worst company in America. That hasn't happened this year. EA learnt their lesson. They changed their ways and came out with two barnstorming games. So Anthem, the critical reception and commercial success of Anthem, no one really expected it. BioWare were back on form, and EA are very pleased with them and haven't taken them out behind the shed and shot them in the face. And no one expected Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order to be so good. No one could have expected the multiplayer to be as good as it was. It wasn't just a shoehorned element in, and it wasn't just another rehash of Battlefront. So that was great. But the biggest shock of them all, Madden and FIFA free to play.
Should be.
Yeah,
Or just
I-
like a updated roster pack.
Yeah,
or
so they've,
something,
they've
for
totally
$10.
changed the pricing structure for Madden and FIFA. No one expected them to do it. They've caged off Ultimate Team to over 18s in territories where they consider the Ultimate Team thing to be gambling. So they've caged that off to over 18s. So they've dealt with the issue about having to deal with the Belgium and Danish and wherever else gaming commissions. Done. Drawn a line under it. We don't sell gambling to kids. And then the rest of the game, it becomes you purchase updated rosters, updated stadia, and then if you want to play Ultimate Team, you've got that over there. And if you just want to play some Champions League or anything else, there is a different version of the game that you can buy. So Ultimate Team became free to play. And if you didn't want Ultimate Team, you didn't want gambling, you've got it here, and you've got it, and you love it. You fucking love it, don't you?
The sick
Right.
part about your prediction is I could see this happening. If it's not this year, it's coming.
Well, it has happened. I've seen it in the future.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
But-
I'm glad we know now.
So okay, that's where I'm going with not quite first, because we obviously people are still upset with EA about probably anything that they do. But if they make some, well, they have made some changes, and the games that are coming out are of great quality,
Right.
and people don't hate them anymore. So first to last to not quite first.
Jesus.
Who takes the spot then as like the most hated game publisher?
No, it was just companies in general, wasn't it? There was
Okay.
the banks in there and things as well.
Fair enough.
In terms of companies, who takes the first spot?
I can give you the worst one. That'll be Activision Blizzard.
Are they though, or do we see Ubisoft maybe inching their way towards worst?
No, Activision Blizzard.
You don't think
Yeah.
you don't think that Ubisoft is going to be just as egregious as EA?
Well, they are, but they're French, so somehow they get a pass.
So, so my mother was a hamster, and my father smelt of elderberries.
Exactly. Either that, or they have that je ne sais quoi. Well, it's kind of, they just kind of shrug their shoulders and say, we don't care.
Oh my God.
And they just go,
All right.
Meh, pas problème.
Some big predictions or things that will eventually come true. Rather, you
Yeah.
just have to wait it out until it actually does happen. So, well, how about you, Matt? What's the
All right.
you're seeing into the future right now?
I am seeing into the future, but I need my special hat. Give me 1 second.
Is this like a Shane Satterfield moment, and Matt's like, "What's going on?" And then he comes and he brings us a present. Oh wait, are you trying to one up my Teddy Ruxpin outfit?
So I've had a lot of people comment. They're like, "Is that really you in the picture?" And I have to tell them, yes, it is really me in the photo. And they say, like, "Are you for sure? Did you not like Photoshop that shit?" I did not Photoshop it.
What is that?
It's a
That's the member of the Muppets.
it's a monster hood. That's what this is.
You trying to one up my Teddy Ruxpin outfit? Is that
I
what's
am.
going on here?
This is what's happening right now, and you have to live with it.
Yeah, there's nothing I can. Like between. Yeah. Just fuck it. Let's just start putting like extra. I feel like I'm in some weird episode of like, it's like David the Gnome or Fraggle Rock, and
Dude.
someone watching a football game in the middle.
Yes, I love it. We had to up the ante on this episode.
All right.
All right, so my first prediction, and I've seen it in the future, so I know this is going to happen.
Okay.
Bungie joins with Epic. So the Epic Store has been a huge success. They've undercut Steam immensely. And Bungie realizes that, you know what, Battle.net was shit. We need to get on this Epic and just really put Destiny, resurrected Empire. That's what I'm gonna call
That's
it.
the name of the next title.
Yeah, that's the name of the third game. Destiny Resurrected Empire. And it's gonna be a full game as a service, and it's using Epic as its platform. The new Epic Store, the new whatever the hell Epic has integrated with it. That's
Is there any Fortnite crossover?
there will be. You can buy different skins from Destiny in Fortnite, and
Makes sense.
the dances will be cross-platform or cross-game. So
So you'll be able to floss in Destiny.
you will be able to floss in Destiny, and you'll also be able to dab. You'll be able to dab hardcore. I have to take this off because I'm like looking at myself. And I'm like, I don't even take myself seriously
Yeah.
right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I've seen the future, and that's happening. That's definitely going to happen by
Well, I
September,
think that,
September
I
of
think that
this
could
year.
really work as well. And then when Bungie makes an absolute crap ton of money, they'll have out another expansion called Activision or something like that, and give two fingers to Activision.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to come up with something that fits in with the WoW acronym for Destiny.
Yeah, but that's Blizzard's IP, so
Well, I know, but they could come out with something like the World of Warlocks,
yeah,
or
Call of Destiny.
right, yeah, really give it to them.
Call over Destiny. Carry on Destiny.
That just makes me think of
The Carry On movies.
no, the song, the '70s rock song, Styx.
All right.
Carry
Sorry,
on,
my
wayward son.
my miming routine has finished. I'm back.
All right.
I'm back in it.
So, Evan, you got to give us a prediction. You got to give us
Alright.
what has happened in the future. That wonderful lager that
Resident
you're drinking.
Resident Evil 2 does so well, and Capcom knew it was going to do well. This year, they announced Resident Evil Revelations 3
Okay.
because they know that the Revelations games are better all the other Resident Evil games aside from 4. Not only that, someone picks up Dead Space. I'm going full fucking survival horror here. Someone has picked up Dead Space after Visceral collapsed, and I don't know who the publisher or the dev is going to be.
It's foggy.
What's like it's hard to see.
The future is foggy.
Oh, the future. Oh, it's so foggy. Oh, dude, I thought there was like a developer out there called like Foggy Games.
No, I'm trying to help you along, dude. I'm just
Oh,
just
the
trying to
future's- it's so foggy. Yeah. So like I'm moving forward. I can I touch things. I feel things. Just edit that out. Dead Space 4 is going to be announced.
not happening.
Let a man dream. This is coming from someone who actually liked all 3 games.
Okay.
Dead Space 3 wasn't that bad. But it's a series that deserves to be and will be either rebooted or have a continuation of the story. And I was about to ruin the ending of Dead Space 3, but I'm not going to do that.
So it's being resurrected by Capcom, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Yes. I feel it. Capcom. We're the right shoulder.
They're
Survival horror shooters. Yes, it works.
They're taking that Street
They're
Fighter
gonna-
money and they're buying Dead
they're gonna
Space.
Well, they already have the end. They're using whatever the RE2 remake engine is, and they're just like, let's just pump them out. This game is so good.
All right,
Let's do it.
I'm on board for that.
Yeah,
There's just too many jokes in Evan touching things and pumping stuff out.
I'm pumping it all out. Wait, there's another one. There's another one. Death Stranding actually becomes a reality in 2020. We realized beings from the fourth dimension make themselves known to us, and they have some sort of power of time compression that if we get close to them, it speeds up time, and we die in the rain.
I thought you were going to say that it sped up time and the game actually got released.
Yes, they make it so. They're like,
Yeah.
the game needs to be released. Like, it needs to be released at the same time it actually happens in real life. That is Kojima's like ultimate.
Wait, hold on. We need to expound on this. So, time travelers from 2020 come back to 2019. They make sure that Death Stranding gets released in 2019, even though
At the
in
same
their
time.
reality, it was actually 2025 is when that
It's a
game was.
warning. And actually the game, they speed up the process of the game because the game was actually going to come out after the fourth dimensional beings come and lay waste to the human population. So they released the game in preparation for everyone to get ready for the invasion. So we actually all become soldiers in the war, and we have 6 years to prepare.
It's a training simulation.
It's training, yeah. The game is actually a simulation. Yeah.
But does anyone believe it? That's the thing. Do they think, no, this is just a game? And Kojima's there saying, no, this isn't. This is real. This will happen. I've seen the future.
Kojima's basically the John Connor of this universe that we're all in.
Oh my god.
He's at the forefront. Yeah.
I love this lore.
The people
that breathe through their skin.
Who knows? That rain, man. That rain has nanotechnology in it. It can make anything happen.
Only the women. Only the women breathe through their skin.
Yeah. So, the people that kind of shrug it off as just a game. Those are the first people to go, because they haven't practiced. They haven't trained in this simulation. This PS5 debut game simulation, and the rest of us that play the game will be ready. We'll be ready for it.
Who don't take games as seriously as life are doomed at the start of the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's very meta.
That's what it sounds like.
Gamers inherit the earth, I guess is what happens. Which would be really, really bad, because I think there's so many people out there that are like assholes and bad people, but or maybe it's the loud 10%, or whatever they call it.
I actually didn't hear assholes. I heard dark souls.
Well, their souls could be dark. We don't know. Who knows what's in their hearts, truly?
Well,
they could be compensating for other things that have gone awry in their lives, and they're just taking it out on other people through the anonymity of the internet. But we just don't know these.
All I know is that Guillermo del Toro has a baby, and that shadows die twice. That's what I know.
Yeah, shadows do die twice. That's probably my most anticipated game of this year. Is that, and the only reason is because I got around to playing and beating Bloodborne last March, maybe. I had no interest in Dark Souls games at all. But my friend, who's he's like platinum all the games. He came over and he showed me the ropes. And then once I got into Bloodborne, I loved it. A game I never thought I'd get into. I thought I'd hate the game, and I loved it. And now that I played that in Sekiro, yeah, it's not it's not Sekiro. You actually don't. But it seems a lot more fast-paced than Dark Souls, similar to Bloodborne, and that's the pace I'm looking for in a From Software game, though. Side note, sorry, I derailed this whole conversation because I wasn't prepared for the topic, but at least I got something out.
You weren't prepared for the topic. You weren't prepared for the podcast.
I you know what? If on that Discord people start complaining about people taking too long to make their fucking 2019 picks in January, I think I'm just gonna quit out. It's like we have all of 2019 to figure this out. The most that will happen is someone's pick will possibly get screwed.
Only if
because
you
they take too long.
only if you pick a January game. Like we'll get this shit done before January for sure.
But that's one pick out of the entire year, so it's like we have plenty of time. Like, what are you expecting from having some draft around the world? Like, who cares if people are gonna get serious about this? Like, I'm tapping out. Like, you guys can have my picks.
I will say, there aren't many games releasing in 2019. I have seen the future. There's not many games coming out.
It'd be hard. Yeah, it's getting hard. There's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah. For those that aren't aware, we're doing a fantasy league draft. So I think there's 12 people involved. Keith?
Yeah, which is probably too many.
Well, I don't know. It seems like a decent amount. It'll work.
Like, what's wrong? Like, this is a 2019 video game fantasy draft. What is wrong with taking our time? Like, I don't understand the immediacy of this thing. It's like someone might not be like Ace Combat 7 is off the table. Like, okay, pick a different game or then you have to go for a long shot that might not come out this year. So what? So you don't get the trophy for the most Metacritic points. Like, I don't want to feel rushed. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that's fair, but I'm taking it seriously.
Like, you can, but you could totally miss. You know what I mean? Actually, Keith, like, I don't know, is this part of the Beerumverate? Do you want to explain what's going on, or are we gonna skip this altogether? It's like, I don't want to talk about it. I've already been working after work. On this work. So.
Yeah.
All right.
It has felt like work after work, and yeah, I'm just glad that people are actually starting to pick stuff now, and
right.
And it will get done when it gets done, and I think it's going to come down to whoever does the most research and find some obscure 3DS game that's going to come out and some random reviewer is going to love and give it a 90. Or some game that launches on Steam and everyone gushes over. But that's going to be how it is. And if you end up going out, I bagged the Sekiro. There you go. There, it's announced.
There you go.
I like the pick so far.
I just think the people. Yeah. I mean, some solid stuff. I just think the people that are going to review Sekiro are the people that already love all those games.
Oh, of course.
And they're also going to love that game.
And
it's going to rate high.
That's why I picked Project Judgmental Looking Eyeballs.
Oh, because it's like it's slightly niche, I guess you could say, even though like everyone knows about them, but like the people who like Yakuza games, it's like you have to give it to them.
Yeah.
To review almost, and I don't see it. I don't see it getting under like an 83. I mean, or so. Like, I think like 85 is a good.
Speaking of games that are coming out in 2019, Keith, you had a vision of Microsoft.
Yeah. Yes. Tell us about it.
The headline that I saw from 2019 was, let's get this around the right way, Micro really soft.
Okay.
So, okay, we know Gears 5 is coming. It's assumed that there's going to be another Forza game. Was it Forza Motorsport? Should be this. Forza Motorsport did come out in 2019. Gears of War 5, or Gears 5.
Gears 5, yeah.
No, you've got to say it properly, Matt. Gears 5.
Gears 5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
decent.
It's
not bad.
Kind of sound like you were trying to hide passing wind or something.
That's fair. All right, continue on, my friend.
The headline of Micro really soft mainly comes from the fact that all they did was release Gears and Forza. Okay, Ori and the Will of the Wisp was also released to much aplomb, but nothing came from any of the studios that they purchased and announced in 2018. There was no real reveal of Halo 5, and they just carried on relying on third-party support and saying the Xbox One X is the most powerful console. I don't know if Phil Spencer is actually going to say it in that voice, but that's what it sounded like when I clicked on the link. In the future, there could be some time compression going on.
No, that is absolutely how Phil Spencer sounds.
Yeah,
I know the future's
they
foggy.
His voice out in post-production.
Like the future's foggy, so when you saw Halo 5, a cloud is actually covering the bottom left-hand corner of the number, and it was actually Halo 6, right? That's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Halo, don't give a shit.
Yeah. Micro really soft. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Which is, by that I mean we'll just see exactly
Wait
what
for that
Keith
to come true.
just said to us. Yeah.
It was Halo 5 Guardians Revisited.
Yeah, that was the one where half was played by that guy who was pursuing Master Chief, right? And the other half was you playing as Master Chief. I don't know. I've never played a Halo game.
Yeah, you're not
okay.
Really.
Micro really soft. Who knows, right? Like if they announced all these studios that they purchased last E3. Obviously those transactions had been made some time in the past. We don't know like how early how early they bought those studios up, but yeah, I wonder if
I think it sucks the fact that Microsoft bought Obsidian post production on The Outer Worlds, because The Outer Worlds will probably end up being a really good game.
Yeah, but we also know that they don't have an exclusive deal on that. So, and it's not coming out in 2019 anyway. So.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They purchased Obsidian after all that was already done and nailed down, and basically post production. Like they're doing QA and they're doing bug testing right now. Like it's in beta status internally. When they release it in 2020, it's going to be in ready status, but it's an Obsidian game, so it'll be buggy as fuck when it actually gets to us. It sucks for Microsoft that it's going to release on PS4, PC, and not be exclusive to Xbox.
Well, they bought it knowing that, so
right.
Yeah, the most disappointing thing for me, considering I've never purchased a Microsoft console and I never will. Well, it's like I live in Japan. Like, why would I get one really? But I guess I could buy all my games online. So,
really,
but they purchased Ninja Theory and Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice was an absolutely amazing game.
Right.
And like what they did for like the small amount of people that worked on that game is nothing short of amazing. So it's kind of like, that game was so great. Like, it's disappointing that I'm not going to be able to play whatever they release next, potentially, right? So that's a shame. Hopefully it's not as good. All right.
Matt, go.
All right, so I've had a vision. I've had a vision of the future. Bethesda pivots heavily on Fallout 76. And they do exactly what Hello Games did with No Man's Sky, and they do that with Fallout. Fallout 76 becomes a more heavily single-player focused game and delivers on all of the expectations that the core fans expect from a Fallout game. So that's my prediction.
By that point, does anyone care?
I think they do. I think given what we've seen from No Man's Sky, in terms of media reaction, each subsequent release and each subsequent update of No Man's Sky has garnered new interest in that game, and I think that when Bethesda actually pivots hardcore towards like, okay, we need to please our fans, the media outlets will reciprocate that, and they'll start posting and talking about it.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, my whole thing with Bethesda and their venture into this kind of I don't know what I call it, games as a service type model for a game, is I was hoping that it would be successful, so that they could kind of potentially fund some of their other projects, because Bethesda has been so proud and very loud about how much focus they put on single player games, and some of their other games like the Wolfenstein series, which hasn't sold that well in comparison to some of their other stuff. I love that series. Like, if they don't complete the trilogy, I know Youngblood is coming out this year, but like,
Right.
I would be so sad. Prey was one of my favorite, even though it came out in 2017. I played it in 2018. That game is amazing. Like, if you're a System Shock fan, you should play that game. It is so good. So some of their single player games that they've been loud and proud about are great games. And if Fallout 76 turned itself around and was able to pump money back in the studio so they could fund these other projects, all these single player games that they've been so proud about showcasing, like, everyone, like, it's like the Schadenfreude. Like, everyone likes to see this garbage fire happen in real time. But if the game turned itself around and it was allowed them to put some of that money into these other ventures that haven't sold as well, like, I hope that is a possibility. I hope that could happen.
I think
let's ask Matt. He was the one who saw the future.
I think that Bethesda
Yeah.
I think that Bethesda's main issue is the fact that they're relying too heavily on id. Those games are going to do well, but those are id Software games. Those are not Bethesda games.
Right.
So what you're saying, yes, I agree with. Like, Wolfenstein's going to do well. We'll see some more single player stuff. But it's going to be id. It's going to be what is the Dishonored studio? Arcane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, we might see some more from Arcane.
Great games, by the way. Like,
No, they're amazing games.
they make amazing single player games.
Yeah, but it's not like Bethesda proper. Fallout and Elder Scrolls, that's Bethesda. Like, we need to see them actually deliver on those franchises.
I think Evan's sending the home help away. Is that your home help? They're going now.
Yeah. I might have to actually get off kind of soon, though. Unfortunately, this is
That's
all.
fine.
I've thrown a wrench into the works of this whole thing.
No, that's
I
fine.
actually just looked at the notes and I realized we were supposed to have 2 premonitions and then space them out, and I gave 3 all at the same time. So it's like completely like the opposite of everything that's on these notes.
All right, we'll come up with a second one. Come on, we can do this.
Or a fourth one, as the case may be.
Yeah.
All right, it is cloudy. It's very cloudy. Very cloudy. Oh, so cloudy, with a chance of meatballs. Fucking blank.
Tiger Woods PGA Tour comes back.
Yes, I see it. I see it in the clouds.
NBA Live.
Super Mario 3D World is going to be ported to the Switch.
I would love if that happens. Yeah.
I think it's the second best 3D Mario game.
Dude, they need to
That game's amazing.
they need to port
It's so good.
fucking Metroid Prime, the entire Metroid Prime trilogy. They need to port that shit to Switch.
I never played any of those games, and I think it's going to happen leading up to whenever Prime 4 is released. Because
Yeah,
if you have a bunch of people that skip the GameCube generation, like myself, like it's perfect, and they're gonna sell it for way too much money. I know that for sure.
they will.
Yeah.
That's Nintendo.
I know
Yeah.
that for sure because I saw it in the future. I saw the future. They'll sell it for too much money. And Super Mario 3D World will be $60, even though it's a Wii U game that came out in 2014, and I already beat it.
Right.
I'm probably not gonna play it again, but yep, they're gonna port that, and they're gonna release that information in 2019. That's for certain. I see it.
Teddy Ruxpin's going to make a comeback. Either that or
Yes.
your fleece is going to come back to life and strangle you in your sleep.
Yeah, Teddy Ruxpin. That's like I'm like Phil Spencer. Like when I come on this podcast, I hint at what's going to be released soon, or like Sean Layden. I got the shirt under it.
Sean Layden.
Wait, what's his name? Layton?
I think it is Layden.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. This is my hint at what's to come. Teddy Ruxpin remastered trilogy. for all the
Let me just throw out the first appearance of Sean Layton on the Beerumverate. Was it? I guess it was also the first call out to Phil Spencer as well.
Is it?
Yeah. We didn't talk about Reggie yet. See what he'll have a little Teddy Ruxpin pin on his suit.
Oh my God.
I'm sure I've slagged off Microsoft on here before. I must have done.
I don't
You
think
must have.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually talked about Phil Spencer specifically.
No.
So that's a new one.
Okay. I know I did on Podcast Reload one time.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
For sure.
Speaking of which, Evan, you've got a new episode that should be appearing soon.
Yes, I'll do my
Plug.
Yeah.
Mr. Vin Hill and I recorded a 3-hour-long 2018 Game of the Year Podcast Reload episode where we hand out arbitrary awards to all the games or a specific number of games that we played in 2018. They don't necessarily have to have been released in 2018, but Vin hasn't been on the podcast since 2017 Game of the Year. So it's been a year. So yeah, it's ridiculously long, but I think I'm going to cut none of it and just release it as a 3-hour-long podcast to be consumed by whoever is interested. So it's a good conversation. It's really nice to talk with them. And yeah.
One thing
tuned.
that I know has been requested, which I've avoided us talking about on here, because I know you said on the last time we recorded, Evan, you felt a bit guilty that kind of Podcast Reload had taken a bit of a back burner, and we've been doing this a bit more. But I saw a few people request a Red Dead Redemption 2 deconstruction in the same way that the three of us did Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah. Yes, I could make that podcast 3 hours long. Really,
I
finally beat Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'll have to remove myself from that discussion. You two could definitely handle that, though.
I need someone who hates it.
I love and hate it at the same time.
Yeah, I think I'm closer to you, Keith. At the end, like once I beat it, I turned around on it a bit. I was really, really negative on it for like the middle of that game, but the last third kind of helped me turn me around. And then someone who's on the other end of the spectrum that like absolutely loves it, that's a good conversation because you have everyone on the spectrum of how they feel about the game. But yeah, I do want to do that. And I think what's this AW008 who absolutely loves Red Dead. He would be a perfect addition to that podcast because I know he probably feels the strongest about it in a positive light.
Yeah.
At least at least within the commuted sifted community. I've only had 2 beers, I swear to God.
You need to catch up, dude.
Yeah, that'll be coming. So I want to do like a breakdown of Red Dead Redemption 2, like we did with Mass Effect Andromeda, and also of Octopath Traveler, Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
Have you finished it?
I have not yet.
Well,
That's sort of indicative of the type of conversation that we're going to have regarding that game.
it's like way later, like way after the fact. Yeah,
Dude, by the time you get
which I like.
by the time you get to the chapter 4s, like the time invested, yeah, it's one thing. Okay, we can get into this right now a little bit. We won't get into like exact details, but
Before you guys start talking, because when we were on,
This happened before with Keith.
this has happened on Twitter before. Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should save this.
Oh my God.
yeah, maybe you,
I actually should probably go, to be honest with you. You might have to
Yeah.
leave a black hole on the screen here.
well, should we just call it?
I think we should
We've-
call
we've-
it. It's
Yeah, we've
Okay.
done.
We've recorded
got
for
predictions.
57 minutes, so we're good.
Oh, okay. Hours good.
This is quite
Hours
possibly
a good time.
the second quickest episode. I think the other one was when Matt, you and I did our review of the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Mm.
We blew through that really quick.
Yeah,
Can't believe it. You guys blew through the Pathless. It's like the best game that they announced.
I swear to God, I didn't see it on the
I
stream.
missed it, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. So, the
Closing
Beerumverate
statements.
hashtag Hoppy New Year.
Happy New Year.
No, Hoppy New Year.
Hoppy.
Come
That's what I
on.
said.
You said happy.
That's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth.
All right. So this has been the Beerumverate. First episode of 2019. I think it was a good one, boys.
Structured, to the point, comedic value.
For the most part, you got structured. Yeah, 2/3 of it was structured. The other
And then
third
there was
being me. Yeah.
That's got to be the next title of the next show. And then there was Evan.
Structured.
Hey,
Hashtag structured, not me.
I promise you now, I will get my shit in order. It might. I can't put a date on it, but it will happen this year. Financial quarter 1. Okay.
Okay.
We're looking at
All right.
spring. I'll get my shit in order and we'll figure it out.
Q1
But yeah.
2020.
All right, gentlemen.
20.
Any last
Things.
things that you have to say?
Thank you very much, and good night, or good morning. And
Drive fast and take chances.
that's the kind of irresponsible bit. We know where that sits now.
I will say that San Diego means a whale's vagina.
What?
You have to have seen Anchorman. Come on.
I have. It's
No.
been a very long time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's call it.
Yeah, I
Good
do know
night,
whales have
good
prehensile
evening.
penises.
Peace.